As far as running backs are concerned, we saw Dion Lewis had a historic game against the Texans with his 3 touchdowns. So, what's your advice as far as Lewis and the running backs?
I think with Lewis, there's going to be higher ownership this week because of what he did last week. But the price on DraftKings is 5,300, and that's extremely affordable. I like the idea of using him as a flex. I think he complements the Garrett Blunt very well. I don't really look at this matchup as being better for Blunt than it is for Lewis or anything like that. I think the times I like to use LeGarrette Blunt tend to be games where I feel like the Patriots are going to run away with it when they're favored by 10 or more. In this case, they're not. They're favored by 6. So I think because this game's going to be closer, Dion Lewis's role, especially catching screens out of the backfield, is going to be very safe. So I still like Lewis, even coming off of a monster game against the Texans last week.
Okay. By the way, so then I agree with you there. I've got Lewis. I also handcuffed with LeGarrette Blunt in this situation for basically the reasons you just stated. But sounds like you're not going to have Blunt there in your starting backfield.
No, I won't. I'm going to have Le'Veon Bell in my lineup. I
Ooh.
was able to squeeze him in at 10-3. I think the benefit of having Bell is that you're not really worried at all about that position. I mean, even in a game where the Steelers lose, you could see Bell touching the ball 30 or even 35 times. And I think with New England, I look at them as a team that's more likely to slow down an opposing team's top wideout than to slow down an elite running back like Bell. So he seems matchup proof, and this is one of the few weeks where I've been able to squeeze him into a lineup that I actually feel pretty good about overall. I like Ty Montgomery this week too, though. He's 5,600. He's going to have a role catching a few passes out of the Green Bay backfield. Looked really good running the ball last week against Dallas, and with that game being a track meet, of course, you want to have at least a couple shares of players in the Green Bay offense.
Mhm.